What's up, Mortgage Coach community? This is the earliest interview I have done on Pacific time. It is 6 a.m. Pacific. It'll be interesting to see how many folks tune in into our Facebook group, but it's 9 o'clock on the other side. And we've got Mr. Brian Morley coming to us live out of Columbia, Maryland. What's up, my brother?
Morning, Dave. Welcome to the early morning here.
Yeah, well, we got to get after it. You know, you and I wanted to do this a couple of days ago, and we ran into some tech snags, and we want to get this out to your loan officers at your company and to the Mortgage Coach community, and we want to get it quick. So Brian, by the way, did you know that Maryland is currently ranked the number one lacrosse team in America? NCAA lacrosse team in America?
I did know that. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a school that's missing in that ranking right now, but we'll have to move on past that right now.
Oh, it's all good, guys. So Brian is a former baseball player for Hopkins, John Hopkins. Hopkins is playing Rutgers, I think, tomorrow or the next day, and Rutgers is the favorite this year, man. So
Wow.
you got to get Hopkins back in the top 10 on lacrosse.
Yeah, they'll get there. They're a pretty good squad. It looks like they've got a new coach, and they'll figure it out eventually.
No, they will figure it out. So guys, we're here not to talk about lacrosse and baseball and D1 sports, but we're here to talk about how to help realtors get offers accepted in this low inventory market. Brian is one of the top loan officers in America. Brian, real quick, just for anyone who hasn't heard my past interviews with you, what kind of production did you do last year?
Yeah, last year was a great year. Did with my team, did about 201 million, a little over 400 units. So it was a really productive year, still very heavy on the purchase side. So that's what we're really proud of. You know, with the even with the refinances we did, we still were skewed heavier to the purchase. So really happy and proud of that.
And the most important metric of all, Brian is a grandmaster. He became a grandmaster in less than 2 years. When we rolled out Mortgage Coach at his bank, Fulton Bank, Brian was like top producer in the company. And it's like, hey, if Brian adopts Mortgage Coach, a lot of people are going to come with him. So dude, thank you for leading by example. And it's been a great partnership. How many total loan officers do you have over there now?
Yeah, so we have about 105 loan officers in a 5-state footprint. Did about just shy of 3 billion last year. So growing, moving in the right direction. And, I really proud of what we do here. And, our numbers as an organization really skew towards that purchase as well. So I'm very bullish on where we're going, even with some rising interest rates. And I think that's what we're going to kind of talk about today is, the purchase market. And that's where we really thrive and embrace and really wrap our arms around one of our corporate ethos of changing lives for the better. And what better way to do that than through homeownership and helping people in all areas of the spectrum achieve homeownership, the American dream. So really excited for that. And I think we're positioned really well in that respect.
Yeah, no doubt. And guys, if you're not giving a family a total cost analysis, they're not fully educated, informed on how to optimize that home ownership, because the American dream is not just home ownership, it's home ownership debt-free, or home ownership where you have financial freedom. Paying off your mortgage is just a strategic financial planning decision. So Brian, thanks for that. And then guys, just another important footnote before we dig into the tactics and strategies at hand is Brian's the head of production now. So I just want everybody to think the dude's running a team, closed 400 loans last year, is always $100 million plus team. And he's also leading a crew of loan officers. So we're talking about a guy who's highly efficient, highly effective. And I think what's going to be neat, when I was talking to him and he was telling me these tactics and strategies, I was like, who creates the total cost analysis on your team? And while he delegates that to others, he could do it too. So I just think leading by example and being able to do anything all the time. Maybe I'll even put you on the spot and see if you really can create a TCA in a minute.
Yeah, I think I'll dust it off. I'll try to figure it out. And I think that, like anything, I mean, the hardest thing that we need to do as loan officers, as advisors, is really, advise our clients, be the trusted advisor. The tasks that we do can be mapped out pretty regularly so that anyone on my team can really produce a TCA under the way we want to do it. It's that interpersonal connection with the borrowers. That's the uniqueness. So everything else can be plotted out as a workflow.
Hey, Brian, check this out. We got like 14 people tuned in live. So I don't know if they're all East Coasters or, people are just up and they're like, Savages live at 6 a.m. Pacific. What's
Listen,
up?
it's a great way to start your morning. I
Right?
mean,
Maybe I'm going to have to
I've
start.
I've
Yeah.
pumped out about 3 TCAs this morning already before I finished my first cup of coffee.
Oh, I love that, man. You're talking my love language. So so let's get into it. Let's define problem and then let's
Yep.
talk about solutions. Problem is uh, whether someone has an inventory gap or appraisal gap or not, getting an offer accepted is tough. I mean, like
Yeah.
competing with like 6 to 10 to 12, that's like not very competitive. I mean, we're seeing news headlines where 100 plus offers come in. I'm hearing stories all the time where 30 and 60 offers are being made on a house. So what's the problem in your market that you're solving? And then let's, kind of define, here's the challenge we're having in the states that we represent and the market I represent, and then talk about how Mortgage Coach is helping solve to that.
Yeah. So speaking about our whole footprint, Jersey, Maryland, DC, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, inventory issues in everywhere. And I really feel once we moved into 2021, while we had the inventory issues in 2020, 2021 is just a new animal. And it's a highly competitive market. We have multiple offers, escalating offers. I saw something a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. It said something like, I might get the number wrong, so someone will probably correct me, but like 87 offers in a house in DC and 73 were cash. I originally thought, Dave, I thought it was an Onion story when I looked at it, but then I pulled it up, I'm like, this is real. So, as I work with my realtor partners, I've always wanted to be part of the offer process, helping craft the offer, matching financing, etc. So, rewind life a few years and it was like, all right, how much can they ask for in closing cost help? Can we use that full 3%? I don't know if anyone knows what closing cost help is from a seller anymore, but it's really just being a part of that. So the biggest thing I've seen is people are escalating either through escalation clauses or just higher offers, and appraisals at times are lagging. So what we're trying to do is prepare our borrowers so that they understand what happens if the appraisal comes in low, or this appraisal is coming in low. Let's prepare for it, and let's prepare for it before you make the offer so you can make the most competitive offer. I've been pleasantly surprised that down payments are still keeping up. We're still seeing some decent sized down payments. So there is some flexibility relative to down payment in a rising rate environment. And if a borrower can get over the fact that, hey, I might be paying $550 for this house and it's only appraising at $525, but 43 other people want to do it. Well, that's what they have to do in this market, I think. And it's creating an informed consumer, giving them all of the information they need to be successful and to make the best decision.
Love it. So we're doing a mastermind at 9 o'clock Pacific today. It's called Best Practices to Get an Offer Accepted. And then in preparation for the Modern Real Estate Summit, which is this coming Friday, all day, 6 hours from 8 to 7 hours later, we're going to be on top realtors. So I've been talking to top realtors, and they're telling me the number one thing a loan officer can do for me, aside from keep their promises, close loans on time, but they said the number one thing they could do is help me differentiate a buyer against cash, because those offers are coming in, there's going to be cash. So how can we get this buyer? What are all the things, like what are the checklists that they can do? And I know one of them is to actually call, like you're going to share TCA and how you do it, but I'm hearing, like for you to call the listing agent to, speak on behalf of the buyer. I'm hearing, buyers writing a love note on, how much they want the home, so that there's an emotional value to, hey, I really want this family to have it, and this family is paying the right price, and this family is going to close on time with the least amount of risk. But before you get into the TCA, what are like some checklist things that you're doing to help your families win?
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. We were talking about that as a team on Wednesday of this week, and I dusted off my notes here. The first thing that we're doing is taking a complete 1003, and maybe that's LO 101, but take the 1003, get the information, get it accurate. Dave, listen, thanks for all the data. It all looks great, but I need your pay stubs, W-2s, blah, blah, blah. And here's why I need it, Dave, because you're going to be competing against 40 different offers. And with your and your realtor's permission, I'm making a phone call to the listing agent. I want to tell them that Dave Savage is fully pre-qualified. We've got great credit scores. We've got a conventional loan, and I have all the documents I need in the file. And the line that I like to use is, the only thing that we need to do is you guys need to negotiate the contract, and it's smooth sailing into settlement. And that proactive call to a listing agent is something that I think wins people a lot of contracts. It's something I've been doing in my career for 10 plus years. I have an agent, probably the first agent I've ever worked with consistently. And 15 years ago, he asked me to start doing it, and he's always asked me to do it with my clients. So it's been a selling pitch that I've used to realtors. Hey, let me show you value. Let me help you and your clients, and make that proactive call. And I think,
oh, it's a differentiator. Keith Collins is going to be on this mastermind today at 9:00. And him and I were talking yesterday, or maybe, he left me a voice memo. We didn't talk. I got a little voice memo on my phone, and he's personally selling a house right now. And I don't remember the number, whether he received 12, 20, or 30, but it was a big number of offers. And he's like, not one loan officer has called me to assure me and to differentiate their offer. So guys, what he just said, I think in the mortgage coach community, I don't know if it's commonplace. I'd be curious, like if you're listening live, are you doing this? If you're not, you should. This is how, like in a market like this is how the best of the best gain market share. So if you were doing this for real estate agents, most loan officers aren't. I think it is a 101 move, like no technology required, no extra cost. You just need to make sure did you hear the scripting a minute ago? Set the expectation with the client, let the client know what you need from them, let the client know why you need it from them, and then get a firm approval, call seller. What else?
let's talk selfishly for a second, Dave, too. It's going to do two things for you if you engage your realtor partner early on, show value to the client by collecting all the documents and engaging with that realtor in the offer process. One, if it's a realtor that you have a relationship with, you're solidifying that relationship. You're continuing to show value. You're continuing to foster that relationship so that they know the value you bring to the table. And the next guy or gal that's knocking on the door, they're kind of ignoring. Number two, when you get that referral from a past client, and that past client is using a realtor that you might not have that relationship, it's allowing you to proactively get in front of that realtor to prevent the realtor from saying, I got a guy or I got a gal. And they're going to say, that Brian guy, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, I'm comfortable. I don't need to refer him out to my guy or my gal. And then you're turning those realtors into possibly your realtors. So if you think about it in that respect, think completely selfishly. What's in it for me? It's keeping your clients sticky. They're sticky to you, and they're not going to stray from you because of the value you showed. And you're creating an advocate by having that realtor on your side.
Love it. So let's give a couple more checklists, and then let's talk about what you do with TCA. But we're a few minutes into this, and the audience is just growing. So it looks like I need to do more. Start the day with Mortgage Coach. So by the way, I want to know what city and state are you in? I'm in Portland, Oregon. We've got a gentleman in Maryland, Columbia, Maryland. What city and state are you in? I want to see what's going on here. And Stephanie just put in calls to the agent, a must. Plus having a client submit a mortgage commitment versus a pre-approval. Right on,
yeah.
Right on, Stephanie. So give one or two more ideas, and then let's get into, okay, how does a mortgage coach bring unique value versus a loan officer? And Stephanie is in Atlanta. What's up?
Nice. So one of the other things that I'm really doing lately is, having the conversations between pre-qualification and offer on expectations. So this is what the market is now. Your agent can speak towards values, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But let me talk to you a little bit about timelines. So you're going to come to me and you're going to say, I need to get this house closed in 24 days because that's what's going to win me this deal. And here's what's going to happen. And I kind of walk them through the process, firm up structure, lock interest rate, update documents. You're going to get me everything in one day. And kind of getting the customer to buy into what they need to be doing in order to be successful, so that I don't get a contract from them and they're like, well, how are we going to do this? Or what do you think about this? And all right, I'll get back to you in a few days. That doesn't work in today's environment because of the speed and the velocity of these transactions. It's just, again, educating the consumer, making sure they're aware of what's going on, and making sure they're kind of lockstep with you on the journey from pre-qualification to offer to acceptance to application. For me, I want to think that once I get that contract, it's done. We've already done everything. We've structured financing. We have our docs. Read the disclosures, sign them, and we're going to whip this thing into underwriting.
All right. So now let's get into creating clarity and confidence with the consumer around buying the house that they want and paying a price that wins a deal. And that guys, that does take clarity and confidence, which Mortgage Coach is uniquely positioned to give that family. From the stage of, and actually we're going to play a couple of the presentations that we're going to do on the Modern Mortgage Summit at 9:00 today. We're going to have a whole workshop on best practices. And you're going to hear a story from Sean Herrero, how he used the cost of waiting analysis to motivate himself. Like he was in one of those battles for his dream home that I think it had over 50 offers. And he used the cost of waiting on himself. So you're going to hear a lot of cool stories at 9. You're going to see more stories at the Modern Real Estate Summit on Wednesday. Let's get into some specific Mortgage Coach tactics, maybe show a TCA, walk it through us, and then we'll see how much time we have. And I might just put you on the hot spot and ask you to create one in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. So put this together in advance. What I'm really seeing a lot from people now is, particularly with my agents, it is escalating offers with the concern that the property might not appraise. Valid, understand it. It just is the way it is. So I'm in Howard County, Maryland, south of Baltimore, north of DC. So what I did is I said, okay, we've got a house listed at $500,000. We've structured it where our borrower is going to put 10% down. Hot market, 40 plus offer. That was one I saw last week in 43 offers. So it is not unrealistic to think that this house might go all the way up to $550,000, if not higher. So let's prepare our client to say, okay, your plan was to offer 500, put 10% down, and this is what we'd structure your financing to be. But what if you escalate your offer? What if you go to 525, 535, and 550? But let's prepare for the reality that this house might not appraise. We've talked to your agent, and your agent is comfortable that at a minimum, we're going to hit that $500,000 number. So instead of doing 90% financing, what I'm showing the client is 95% financing on a $500,000 number, and what that net effect is to them. So you want to talk about like kind of the cost of waiting, et cetera. That's what this is trying to show the client is, from 500,000 to 550, it's not that big of a gap. You're coming up with 98,000 instead of 71,000. So as you look at this, I think that, like interest rate, price point is kind of that sexy thing. Like, oh, I got one over on the sellers. I got a great deal on this house. There are not a lot of great deals to get right now. So it's more so understanding how you can be as successful as possible, how you can position yourself as strong as possible. This is a scenario actually that I see a lot right now. And it's also allowing people to consider if they would waive their appraisal contingency. Like, hey, I'll buy the house. I know you need an appraisal lender, but I don't care what the house appraises for. So this is a tactic that I've used with our agents and borrowers to be successful in that respect.
Are you doing a lot of single premium MI where you're seeing a difference, and just so there's not the impact to the monthly, but you're putting that one time 1,000, 2,000, whatever the single premium MI is?
Yeah, I am seeing that a lot. I wanted, for true comparison's sake, in this case, I just did monthly MI. So you can kind of just see, how that tiers up. I went from a 90 MI to
No,
a
I
95.
see what you did here. I'm just
Yeah.
asking, have you done this?
I have.
And yeah, and we're seeing that a lot in the community. And here's my message, guys. It's not about any one strategy. It's about clarity and confidence for the consumer. And what Mortgage Coach allows you to do is to get to that clarity, a little more transparency. And the transparency I'm referring to is the cost over time. You can show, like, not just monthly, what does this do, but what does this look like 3 years from now, 6 years from now, whatever the numbers are to clients. So transparency and options equals clarity. And guys, clarity equals confidence. And what are the two most powerful emotions on the planet? It's confidence and love. Like, those are the things that fuel greatness. And if you're going to win in today's market, your consumer needs to be confident. And here's my message, guys. You need to be good at creating this for clients. And you also need to be good at telling realtors, this is how I'm unique and better, so that you pick up market share. You get more realtors going, you know what? Pre-qualifying is no longer enough. And I need a loan officer that is a clarity and confidence machine. And as a mortgage coach, you are uniquely positioned to do that. I'm going to say a few more things, but I want to get some feedback from the audience. One, do you have a question for Brian? We got like 20 people watching us live now. I think we're over 20. And then two, do you guys want to see Brian create one of these in 5 minutes or less to see if he's telling the truth? Like, okay, he's not just delegating these 1,000+ TCAs to his team. Hey, Brian, go, while we're seeing what the audience has to say, go into Mortgage Coach. I want to just see something real quick. Go to the upper right-hand corner where it says settings. And look at that, guys. 1,316 TCAs. So yeah, he's telling the truth there. There's a little box, but how many times have they been viewed, Brian?
Over 9,000.
So, check that out, guys. So over 9,000. So guys, that's another thing. The total cost analysis not only brings clarity and confidence to the family, it brings clarity and confidence to everyone around those families. So just looking at this, his TCAs are being viewed on average 8 to 9 times. So that means sometimes it's the same family member going back and looking at it, and sometimes it's another family member, the father-in-law that's loading on the down payment, the buddy at work that's a real estate investor who wants them to use his lender, but he's kind of armchair quarterbacking it. So confidence and clarity and confidence at scale. So Brian, anything else you want to share? I'm going to go and see if the audience has a question for you, or if they want you to create one in 5 minutes or less. So guys, comment if you want to see Brian create one in 5 minutes or less. All I need is one of you to tell me you want it, and we'll make it happen. Anything else, Brian?
No, I mean, I think that, what you said earlier about single premium MI just got my mind thinking. Another thing that I've been really trying to get with the borrowers is, tell me the plan for your mortgage, not the house, the mortgage. And I think that's an important distinction. People will say, well, how long are you going to be in the house for? That's a great question. But I think the better question that we need to be asking as advisors is, how long are you going to be in the mortgage for? Not the house, the mortgage, because that will drive your advice, monthly MI as compared to single premium MI. Well, I'm due to receive X number of dollars from a trust, or I'm due to receive an inheritance, or, oh yeah, I'm going to sell this property. So asking that question, I think, is the better question.
I agree. And by the way, you have officially been put on the hot spot. Tara said definitely. Michelle from Mississippi said yes, create one. I am going to time you when you say go. If you don't mind getting ready to do it.
Yeah.
I want to remind folks, Brian, just a reset thing, is a team leader that closed over 400 loans last year. So he's busy. He has a team. He's the head of production for 100+ loan officers, and he can do this himself. He's done it 1,000 times. So any loan officer, because that's one of the things when people are like, oh, I don't have time to be a mortgage coach, and I'm like, 5 minutes. You don't have time to spend 5 minutes to create confidence and clarity for your consumer. Now Brian's done this 1,000 times. Well, his team and him have done it 1,000 times. But guys, you could do it quick. You can actually, if you use templates, you could do it in like 2 minutes. But we'll see how Brian's going to do it. As you can see, I'm going to start the timer. Tell me when to say go.
Yeah, so just give me what are we looking for? Purchase scenario, escalating offer?
Yeah, let's do like a standard purchase options, either down payment options or purchase price options. What do you do more of? Like where you're saying, hey, family, here's, you qualify between this and this, or hey, family, this is what the price you want, but these are the down payments.
Yeah,
what do you do more?
I'd say it's now purchase price is the hot thing now. That's probably what we're seeing the most of.
And boom, let's give everybody how long it takes to give purchase price options.
Yeah, so fire away. All right, ready? Hit the button.
Go. It's ticking down, everybody.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how long it takes.
So pretty simple. Obviously, a lot of this is just based on, past knowledge, where to go. So I'll kind of just wing this as we go here. Obviously we've had our conversation with our clients, so we know what we're doing. We'll just do 20% down, give them a nice interest rate. Let's say that our realtor partner has sent us something over, so we know what our taxes and our insurance would be.
By the way, guys, he could have used a product template. He didn't. So
I didn't.
That's okay. I just want to call it out while people are looking at it. There's a shortcut that he missed, but keep going.
Yep. Now, I would say one of the biggest things, and it took me a little while to do this, but I build your templates. So, boom, there we go. I've got all my Howard County templates.
Okay, there we go. He's got fee templates, guys.
Yep.
Major shortcut.
2 things. And then the only other thing, we're going to do is we're going to change our realtor, broker, admin fee based on who they're working with. All right. So we got
Hey, before you go off that, I want you guys to notice, sorry if I cost you your 5-minute victory, but you'll notice at the bottom left-hand corner, it says closing corp. He's got a closing corp integration. If you're with a company that doesn't have that integration, let your manager know. Mortgage Coach integrates with Optimal Blue and Closing Corp. So you're missing it if you don't have it. All right, keep going, bro.
Yeah. So these hypothetical customers say we only have 100 grand, so that's perfect for them. So they've got to escalate and kind of stick with that 100K number.
You're 2 minutes in.
Yep, we're copying because we're always going to copy. Because we templated everything, all of our closing costs are adjusting. So really, I need to now adjust this number. We're going to adjust our loan amount down by 5,000. I'm sorry, up by 5,000 to keep it at that number of 100,000. Again, hypothetical scenario.
Halfway point.
Yep. And then we've got, we again, maybe not the best strategy for the client, but we're going to have mortgage insurance probably in this case.
That's taking extra time, but that's cool. We're seeing like, hey, even with options and MI, we can do this and we'll see what we do it in.
So our people have, Dave Savage has got deep pockets here. So we've got $100,000 to play with. I copied the wrong one, I think. So we do that. So we want to just keep driving
him and making it hard on him.
No, you're good. You're good. We want to keep driving this number to, 100,000. What did I do here? Boom. There we go. Awesome. And then one more. We'll do
for some guys. Like, he could have been done, but he wants to I think, guys, more often 3 options is kind of the magic number. But hey, we got a 4 option TCA.
It is. Yeah. And you can see, you've got your 80, your 81, 82, 83 LTV. So that kind of shows what it is. We're throwing today's date in, so we know what we're talking about.
No, real quick before you show it, I want to call out, guys. You could add a video. You see in the right side, he could put a 1 to 2 minute video on it with, remember, guys, video, you can't make spelling errors, and consumers get to see you and they like you, and you could do that from your mobile phone. And then 2, he could click live preview right next to video and literally be in presentation mode with the client where he's moving this thing. So what would you do now? And by the way, you got a minute left. So we're 4 minutes into this, even with my distractions.
Yeah. So, just obviously giving it a once over before I send it out, making sure it is what I want to send to the client. And it is. So I have been using it a lot.
Hey, would you send me the link right now in chat? I want to put a link to this to everyone watching in Facebook. So, and I'm also going to put this link in. So guys, he's grabbing the link, he's texting it, he's emailing it. I'm going to put, as soon as you give me that link, there it is. I'm going to put it in chat. And guys, we are at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So, I mean, he did it. He did it in 5 minutes or less. I'm going to put this link in. So by the way, everybody in the audience, give him a standing ovation, please. Brian's, and then I want you to do purchase TCA. Could you, anybody in the audience that you're at a desktop, if you're driving, please don't do this. But if you're at a desktop, click on this right now. And I want to make sure everybody sees how it moves. He's going to use the live feature.
So yeah, Dave, I just want to share one of the things that I've really, and I forget, you had an interview with a young lady. I don't remember who it was, but her strategy was always to meet people face to face. And pandemic had changed that, where, they Zoomed, they that it. And something she said just clicked when I was listening to it. So I used to send this, put a little narrative in an email, do a few videos here and there, but more so it's, hey, I'd like to walk you through this. When can I talk to you? When can I have 5 minutes of your time? Very similar to what we did in that earlier example, Dave. So you're going to get on the phone. Can you please click on the link? Let's walk through this. And, I like to use the live feature where I can highlight and other people are seeing what I'm doing. So kind of walking them through what the strategy is. And very often you're going to get the, oh, okay, well, I see what you did here, Brian, but we have to pay mortgage insurance if we put less than 20% down. Yeah, Dave, I was trying to keep you at that $100,000 number, which you said was important to you. Well, yeah, Brian, I could come up with another $5,000 to $10,000 if that would avoid mortgage insurance for us. So that live interplay with your customer builds rapport, shows that you know what you're doing, gives confidence that you are the trusted advisor. And, again, selfishly, you're building a stickier customer. They know that you know what you're talking about and you're showing value. And you're learning more about your customer.
Yeah. And guys, just to net that out, your conversion rates go up and you save time. So Brian, scroll to the very top of this TCA that you're in right now. Do we have anybody viewing it? I can't see what it says.
Yeah, we do. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yes. So guys, you notice on the upper right-hand corner, we can see that 6 of you have clicked on this live. And now Brian, click, just so folks can get a little feel for and we got to wrap this up. I've got to actually jump on another call in 4 minutes, but click a few buttons, so people can see the live experience. You notice that? He's moving the screen. Why don't you click on the more information, like you were going to get into some detail.
I'll tell you, this is the thing that people love, the consumer loves. Hey, Dave, if you can just give me a few extra bucks here for your down payment, I can get rid of this $42 mortgage insurance a month. Well, really? How do you do that? And then I'll tell you, I love when people say, "Are you highlighting that right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." So that's a really cool tool, you know.
Has
And how
anyone ever
we,
used the word wow?
yeah, a few times.
So guys, Mortgage Coach, the name of Mortgage Coach is Wow Tool, guys. When we created this platform, it was all about to get a consumer to say, wow, you know, and the wow is, wow, I trust this loan officer. Wow, this loan officer has extraordinary knowledge. And for loan officers to go, wow, that was faster and easier than a fee worksheet. Wow, that was faster and easier than my janky Excel non-compliant spreadsheet. So anyways,
So yeah, and Dave, just hit you with one thing. I know you're up against it, but you know, we've been in the mortgage coach community for about 3 years now, I think. And obviously, I was part of the group with my predecessor that helped pick this as our provider, and I saw the power of it. And this isn't to, you know, blow smoke, but last year I can attribute $50 million of production to Mortgage Coach. We did a retention campaign right in the beginning of when rates started to come back down, and having these customers reach out, or us reaching out to them proactively, providing a TCA, it was fantastic. And again, $50 million in production I can attribute to Mortgage Coach. We've also turned on, we use Total Expert as our marketing operating system. We've integrated Mortgage Coach and Total Expert, where we're sending out annual reviews through Mortgage Coach automatically. You don't do anything and they go out. Now, listen, some of the people that closed 12 months ago are probably in a better interest rate position than where we are today. But when they pick up the phone and call you and say, "Hey, Brian, can we do that annual review? Can we look at this?" How many people want to talk to your past customers? How many people want to have that opportunity to talk and say, "Dave, we got you in the high twos. You're in a great spot. But hey, if your friends, family, or coworkers are thinking of buying, building, or refinancing, feel free to share my information with them."
So guys, value beyond the transaction. I'm going to talk from the stage of the Modern Real Estate Summit next week. And I've used this acronym on stages so many times, but WACD, write that down. What does it mean? It's what Amazon can't do. And of course, we're in housing, so we need to put a Z in it. What Amazon and Zillow can't do. And then guys, what Amazon and Zillow can do. And so one of the punchlines at the Modern Mortgage Summit, when I do my opening keynote, I'm going to show this slide about, I don't know, 7 minutes into the opening. And guys, this is dated 2017 from Mr. Disruptor himself, the founder of Zillow. The agent of the future has to be a coach and advisor. And everything that you saw from Brian right now, it's epitomizing that. He is a coach. He is an advisor. He's using technology. He's using media. So guys, when you are able to get on Zoom, that's media with a client. When you're able to put a video on a total cost analysis, that's media with a client. And so he's using technology to be a better coach and advisor, and it's saving him time. It's integrated with his pricing platform. It's integrated with his CRM. If you're a mortgage coach and you're watching this and your company doesn't have us integrated into your platform, introduce us to your management team. We'll get them on board. 7 of the top 10 lenders in America, non-bank owned lenders in America, have Mortgage Coach integrated into their platform, and we'd love to help you. So Brian, any closing thoughts? And actually, let me ask one question and then get your closing thought, because you've been really good as a, I don't know, lead by example person. Like when we rolled out, you didn't use Mortgage Coach. I don't actually know if you guys had one single loan officer in Fulton that used Mortgage Coach, but you, top producer, said, "You know what, I'm gonna lead by example." And now you guys have great adoption of Mortgage Coach. Any advice you have to whether it's a branch manager, a head of production, someone that's like, Mortgage Coach is valuable and I want to see my team adopt it? Any advice you have to anyone?
Yeah, change is hard. You know, we still struggle with this with some loan officers. We have a compliant Excel worksheet that we can use, and I put the two next to each other and say, "Look at these. Why you choose which one you think's more professional and better for the client?" Change is hard. The first one, I had to do a presentation It was probably the second TCA I did for our leadership team outside of the mortgage company to show value with this. It took me 2 hours to do one night, and I was getting so frustrated. Give it 20 TCAs. Do 20 TCAs, and if at the end of those 20 TCAs you do not see value in this, move on. I know you will see value in it, and that's what our team has seen. And I think that it really allows you to level up and take your game to the next level.
That is the number, guys, 20. And I have had loan officers and leaders that it was somewhere between 10 and 20, but it's pretty rare that your first 3, your first 5 are not like, oh my God, I don't have time for this thing. Like, I got too many leads. And
the other kind of pro tip I would give you, Dave, and I was slow in this, template, everything. Yeah. I wound up having some disjointed templates, and it was creating more work. And one day I sat down with my team. I said, we're going to throw them all away. We know how to use Mortgage Coach. We know what we use it for. Let's get this right. Let's build out all the templates for kind of our main areas of focus. And it's just amazing.
So Brian, you could have created that TCA you did probably in half the time if you would have had a purchase price option strategy template. And then you would have just gone purchase price options, strategy templates, and you could have had one with 3 and one with 4. And then you could have just updated down payments and rates, but everything was filled out. So just FYI, there is a level of faster you can go. I'm going to have Brian Morley, your success manager, reach out. And if you want, we'll do a reminder training on all the shortcuts. Because at the end of the day, guys, we want 5 minutes to be a long time. We want you to create some TCAs in 2 minutes. Like, the whole idea is make it faster to create an experience for a consumer. And then where we really save a lot of time is that when you give this experience to a consumer, it's saving time, because now they can go back and re-reference what you said. They can share it with the other stakeholders in the transaction. And trust me, we know on every transaction, because we know how many times it gets clicked on by different IP addresses. And there's, it ranges from 2 or 3 on up to 8 different people are viewing this thing. So it's saving time. It's creating transparency. It's creating clarity. And the result of that is confidence. And guys, in today's market, if you want to optimize an offer, like if you want to optimize your chance of your consumer winning an offer, they need optimized confidence total cost analysis. Dude, you killed it. We went a little over, but
hey, that's all right.
If you got value from this, guys, give a like down below, share it with your mortgage friends. Remember, any loan officer that wants Mortgage Coach that's not integrated into your platform, let your management team know. You can email me, dave@mortgagecoach.com, or you can PM me and say, Dave, get my management team on board. We would love to help them. And it's not too late. Next Wednesday is going to be a spectacular event for real estate agents. We've already sold over 10,000 tickets. We just crossed 10,000 yesterday. And every hour of this 7-hour event, we're gonna have a mortgage coach step on stage and show thousands of realtors how Mortgage Coach helps their buyers make winning offers, and how Mortgage Coach helps them get listings. The people that we've asked to create that content will not say their company name, so there won't be any like, oh, I'm such and such with blank mortgage. No, no names. It's just, hey, I'm such and such. I'm a mortgage coach. Let me show you, thousands of realtors, why you need to use a mortgage coach. So my mission is 50% of families in America get a total cost analysis versus a fee worksheet. And we're working hard to make it happen. Anyways, Brian, thank you for helping with the Mortgage Coach mission, bro.
Anytime, Dave. I love it.
All right. Take care, everybody. Give us a like,
All right, guys,
share it.
Have a
Have
great
an
day.